Hi everybody, my name is Maddie, and you guys were expecting the happy couple, but instead you got me. And I am going to talk to you about couples and their third wheels. Mostly we're going to touch on how it's not so great. They can be great, but in today's video we're going to talk about how they aren't so great. Okay, so the first thing that I've noticed that can happen is that, and this is like the biggest bummer, so we're just gonna get it out of the way, is that you have your couple, oh yeah, oh my gosh, we're so happy and excited to be in love. And then you have the friend, cool, I'm gonna hang out too. I'm gonna hang out right in here. And then, boom, boom, stolen. Now, friend and one of the couple members goes away, and he's like a third wheelie turd, and off they go. And that's a big bummer for this guy, because he's like, but I thought we were friends. And they're like, I mean, we were, not anymore. And off it goes. And that's a big bummer, and honestly that kind of deserves its own video, because there are things to watch out for, things that you can do to handle it, and we'll touch on that some other time. So then the second thing that can happen is that they're always around, and it's a big bummer because, you know, it creates where there's no like alone time for that couple. You want to be able to experience each other as a couple. You want to create a relationship that is you and that person, because when you get down to it, that's kind of the aim of the game, you know? You want to have something with that person, not something with that person and the other one. Having that alone time is super important, because you want to be able to experience them as just them, not as, oh, I'm gonna act a certain way because blah de blah's around, or I act happier when blah de blah's around, or more sad when blah de blah's around. So if you don't, you can end up, it puts a strain on the relationship. So the bonus bummer that comes along with that point is that one person in the couple might not realize that it's putting a strain, and so that's where you get like Susie Q over here going like, is like Jason ever gonna leave or what? And then Bobby's like, Susie, I don't even know what's going on, like it's not a problem, man, Jason's my pal. That is a huge bummer, because it's just not a shared reality point that poor Jason is just not all that welcome, and that can really kind of put a strain on all three, and then your whole tricycle's wobbling down the street and the wheels are about to fall off and everybody is just not that happy. And so then kind of the last thing that happens that I've seen is that the couple kind of ends up being this little social crutch for that third wheel, where the third wheel just doesn't really go anywhere without the couple. It gets to be so routine that, you know, he's not out there meeting new people, or maybe experiencing people he already knows and just didn't know in this unit of time. Like, he just only knows those two people. And then vice versa, it can happen where maybe that third wheel becomes the crutch for the couple, and the couple doesn't really realize that they aren't really functioning all that great in their relationship without that person. So in our example, Jason goes on a trip for a week or something, and now Susie and Bobby are finally alone together, and they're like, geez, what do we do, you know? And oh, what do we talk about, and how do we act and stuff? And at that point would be really good, because now they're going to experience themselves. And if they experience it and they're like, womp womp, that's no fun, then they can discard it and off they go. Or they can experience, wow, this is really great, and boy howdy do we need to get Jason a girlfriend, or something of the sort. So really, all in all, third wheels can be kind of like a womp womp. What I would suggest is that if you're the couple and you're like, yo, this dude's gotta like go find some time on his own, then make an effort, because you're still friends, to introduce him to others, or get him to come to parties and go to things where there are others around, and then get those conversations happening. And you'll find that they'll end up talking, and they'll make their own relationships. They're exchanging numbers, they're texting more, and blah blah blah. And slowly but surely you can kind of just make that little bit of a separation where it's not such a bummer for everybody. And then, you know, if you're still not taking the hint, you can always have the old sit down heart to heart and say, listen, Jason, me and Susie, we gotta have our alone time. So this Netflix and chill night is gonna be just me and Susie, you know? We're gonna watch Kitchen Nightmares and eat popcorn. But yes, chatting it out, always a good idea. Communication is key. Well, that's all I have for you today. So again, my name is Maddie, and Hanali and Raph are out of town, and they're doing their thing in Europe, so that's really exciting. I am living it up in sunny Nashville, and boom. If you thought this was helpful or even a little bit humorous, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for you today. I am the Happy Couples +1, and my name is Maddie again. See you guys.